And we are ready to go live! Hello everyone! Much like the country, we have returned. Hello Mirror as always, thank you for popping in. I don't really know what the song name is in particular, I think it's just like Donkey Kong Country title theme. And it's just the one that returns for basically all, for this and returns. But yes, we have returned to Monkey HD. And for the second time, because if you remember, we tried to stream this game like last year when this HD re-release first came out, and we got one stream in and my nerves got the better of me, so hopefully this lasts a fair bit longer than that, but hopefully I sound alright compared to the game. Please do let me know. It'd be nice to see how I'm sounding compared to everything. I hope I am sounding alright. Please let me know if I need to change any microphone settings or any audio settings in general. If anyone wants to pop in and say anything about that. If not, sound good to me. Yep, audio's good. Yep. If I can not knock my microphone over while I'm getting all this ready. Like, yeah, for this playthrough, I'm just gonna be going for a full casual playthrough. I won't be doing like the K letters when we unlock them, because as we proved when I tried to stream this game before, that proved a point of frustration, shall we say? So it's just very much not wanting to try and go through that. I just want to have a nice casual time with one of my more recent favorite re-releases now that they've had this newfangled update that we will be seeing more of now. So as we just dive right into things. Modern mode. I think now with the update that they've released for the Switch 2, I think this is like the definitive way to play Donkey Kong Country Returns. The motive from Breaking Free, yeah, it's like the original Donkey Kong arcade theme, so that's probably where a lot of these songs originate from, is that original arcade title song. But it's these guys they keep shoving into all the merchandise. And then there's an evil face. Man. Didn't you guys already pop out of your eggs? That's weird. Anyway. The ones I they're mostly remembered from Smash Run. Which is weird because that has the critters as well. And like for the longest time that was the only appearance the critters ever had until K. Rool appeared in Ultimate, and then they also ended up appearing in Bonanza, which, man, I really need to stream that at some point, because that game is so good. That'll definitely be another Donkey Kong playthrough in the future, though I'll probably want to do Tropical Freeze before we get to that, but yeah, it's the plot. DK's bananas get stolen, as they always seem to do whenever a country game is on the record. Now I'm thinking about it, I think Bonanza's the only one where, like, DK's bananas don't get stolen. I can't believe the animals have gotten organized, and all it took was Tiki mind control. God, it's so weird looking at DK and Diddy now after their redesign. But specifically DK, I'm still getting, specifically Diddy mostly, I'm still getting used to, like, Diddy's little flesh flap in between his eyes. He's got, like, the movie Sonic eye thing. And I don't know why they did it. I guess, like, to differentiate it from, like, his very Sonic eye appearance, but then they kind of just made it so he looks like movie Sonic now, so they kind of shot themselves in the foot there. But we can all agree it's peaking the old design. Yeah, the old design for Donkey Kong looks so cursed right now. Also, now that we're actually in gameplay, please feel free to let me know how gameplay sounds and whatnot, how everything sounds. It might just be really loud in my ears. I don't know how it is for all of y'all. But yeah, we're in our hosts. We can slap to play the telly. And then of course we can go into the hidey hole and find a puzzle piece. There's a ton of secrets we can find in here, and I've never gotten all the puzzle pieces in this game. I purely just play this game casually. And thankfully, I don't know if it's in this version only, or if it's also in the 3DS version, but you can buy, like, you can buy like the things that you use that you unlock through the Kong levels to unlock the secret world. You can just buy those at the end of the game, so we can still experience the special world at the end of this if we're still wanting to play this game by the end of it. But yeah, we're getting back into the swing of things. DK can of course jump, he can roll to let him afford him some coyote time in the air, and he can also jump on enemies as shown there. He can also do the ground pound, and he can even blow. That's about all our moves. We're just going along. I still remember the day I heard this song for the first time in like that original E3 trailer, like back in 2010. Still holds a lot of memories with this game from back in the 2010 reveal. Bananas. Oh yeah, they were in. Yeah, I think Retro actually developed that one track in Mario Kart 7, and then the TKs basically became in everything to the point they're now in the they're in the fricking section of the Super Nintendo world. But yeah, this is the new addition for this update, for the update and the Switch 2. Well, for playing on Switch 1 now, you get Dixie Kong, and she's fairly similar to Diddy, except when you do her when you hold down the jump button, she now acts as a second jump, which offers a lot more in terms of like aerial maneuverability, and was definitely the best part of Tropical Freeze that I'm glad to see has now been put into this game. We love to see justice for Dixie Kong. We so do. She gets the short end of the stick so much. And I'm hoping that this will eventually lead into stuff like, I don't know, her getting into Mario Kart World or more of the spin-offs. But I mean, first we gotta get frickin' Diddy Kong into Mario Kart World. And I'm sorry I keep complaining about it, but it's still a problem. Because it took us nearly 10 years to get him in Mario Kart 8, and now I have to put up with that all over again. Yeah, we gotta get her in more spin-offs. So I think the only spin-offs she's playable in is the DS version of Diddy Kong Racing and the Wii Mario baseball game, which isn't even out here in the UK, so kind of stinks. Oh yeah, she's in Slam Basketball on the DS as well, yeah. Oh yeah, the best part of streaming this game now, I'm not using a Pro Controller with drift, so I can actually do decently at that. I had to say it, didn't I? I had to say it, didn't I? Slam Basketball was how I found out she existed. Oof. That just proves how badly Dixie Kong and the Donkey Kong era has kind of been treated until, like, just this last year. It's kind of crazy. And I love we're living in this new renaissance of the series. All the games are now perfectly playable on Switch and Switch 2. K. Rool is back, so the series has proper villains. It's a good time. We're in good times with Donkey Kong now, and I'm so happy for it because I love this freaking series so much. I'm just gonna turn it down a little on my end because it's still fairly loud in my headphones. There we go. Okay, that's a bit better. Very cool of DS era Square Enix. Of course, I say your favorite game in the series is the DS version of Final Fantasy IV. I don't think I've ever. Well, I say that I don't think I've played any really I don't think I will get that sentence out of my brain eventually. I don't think I've really played a lot of Final Fantasy. The other ones I've really touched have been 7 and 7 Remake, which is like very drastically different from any of the conventional RPG type entries. No, not off the top of my head. I would like to play 6 at some point. 6, 4, and 5 I hear are really good for that sort of stuff. I've mostly just been playing I've mostly played a lot of 7 and 7 Remake, because I like 7 Remake a lot. I've been recently replaying it on the Switch 2 now that I have that version of it. It would be nice to finally get to try out the intermission side of things, since that was PS5 exclusive. Well, no, it's PS5 and Steam for the most part. It was PS5 and Steam exclusive for a long time. Doing still to play 9 because I have it on Steam. And, oh! Yeah, I see a lot of love for 9 as well. 9 is another one I want to play at some point because I like the character designs in that game. Yeah. as monkeys do, DK can also cling to ceilings and swing with the greatest ease and gain banana coins, which we'll use in the shop later. I love the little detail of the frogs, like they only bounce up because they have like a little fly above their heads that is acting as like their incentive to jump. I love that little attention to detail. I think I only really noticed it with this Switch version, so I don't know if that was a thing in the Wii or the 3DS versions. It's just something I've noticed a lot more apparently now. Yeah. Oh, oh. Hey! I love doing that. I love timing the frickin' jumping out of that barrel so I can hit all three of them at once. It's so cool. Ooh. And then we jump. Avoid the piranha not plants. We got that joke out of here eventually. Puzzle pieces. I do know where like a lot of the Kong pieces are, but I won't be going out of my way for most of them. I'll just be getting whatever ones I can actually get my hands on for this. Like I said, this is purely no stress, just casually playing a game I absolutely love, just because I want to have a good time and chill. And trust me, the game is going to challenge us enough to make the chill sort of optional at a lot of points. I mainly just wanted to play this game just to test out Dixie, because it's so cool that they've gone back to this game and added something that is actually like a decent decent gameplay update for a game that has been around for like 16 years. And it's just interesting to see them finally do this. Like, this is the kind of stuff they should have been doing at launch when they launched this re-release, just because I think that would have been a decent incentive for people to have picked this game up at launch. Or, you know, it could have just been something they should have done in the first place 16 years ago, because why the heck was Dixie Kong absent from this game for 16 years? I haven't played that many FF games with super proper consistent art, came to think of it. Maybe consistent, like I haven't played any of the tactics games or Revenant Wings, most of the games on the GBA and DS. Both extremely good consoles for my kind of Final Fantasy. Ah, interesting. I'll have to give those a look. I think they just re-released Tactics on Switch recently. I might have to give those a look at some point. Anyway, now we can go to the shop. It's about time you visited your frail old grandpa. Give me some of those shiny banana coins and you can pick through my old things. It's also cool that they've now added a proper, like, Dixie barrel for it as well. Yeah, the original Tactics was originally a PS1 game. Oh, interesting. Okay, good. We can just afford the map key. See if you can finish this quest with my help. Well, it's a good thing they didn't add you as well, Cranky, because then this would have been just like Tropical Freeze 0.5. Yeah. Now it's time to bop and top with trees. Also something that's like drastic. Oh my, those load times especially are such a drastic difference compared to Switch 1. Like, load times in Switch 1 version for some reason were just insane. It's crazy to see the game load this quickly. The bop and lock and polka dot, indeed. Nice. Plenty of banana coins for the next. More coins. These yellow frogs when they move, when they jump. Man, I love this music so much. It's a song I can always go back to and just know I'm in for a good time. I think we all had those kinds of game songs where it's just like, they put our brain at ease and such. Oh, hello Spectrion! Thank you for joining us. We've not long started. Thank you for popping in. It is always appreciated to see more people here on the streams. That's most World 1 Kirby themes. Kirby definitely has a lot of that kind of music, yeah. And now we have Rambi, so we can just... Especially the ones from Adventure Wii and Triple... Oh, yeah, I big agree on those. Yeah, those are the big ones for me as well. Yeah, it's a good thing those, like, barrel cannons are rhino-sized. Would be really awkward otherwise. No, Rambi, no! Rambi! It's 2 Kongs and rhinos in the barrel. It sounds like the end of a punchline to a joke. So 2 Kongs and a rhino walk into a barrel. They had a barrel of laughs. You get my point? I'm trying here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying. Ooh. That's a lot of coins. Love to see it. Gotta get on that cave. So much frog murder in this game, yeah. I guess DK really took Winky's suicide hard. Or something like that, I don't know, maybe Winky ended up being an asshole or something. That's definitely something they need to do with, like, the next, if they do another 2D DK games. I want more animal buddies so Rambi can finally take a break. Yeah, we know from Bonanza that On Guard and Expresso exist still somewhere, so one can only hope they show up again soon. That would be nice. Yeah, Rambi had to carry Cranky through the whole underground, yeah. I love these levels. I wish there was more of these kinds of levels in this game. There's just something about, like, the silhouette levels that are just so pretty. It's such a good aesthetic, and it's a shame there's only a handful of levels that have it. There's a couple in Tropical Freeze, if I remember correctly, so if we ever get to that game, we'll get to experience it again. We're gonna be careful. Okay, we're at Dixie for a while, that's fine. Ooh. There we go. It's such a nice aesthetic, yeah. And it also helps that, like, this might be my favorite version of, like, the DK Jungle Island theme. It's either this or the one that's in... Another one that's in Bonanza, the one that shows up in the, like, nostalgia... That nostalgia level. DK just works well with smooth jazz, what can I say? Hey, yep. Make sure we don't forget the N. You know, for someone who's said he's gonna be very casual about getting all the Kong letters, I'm sure I'm getting a lot of the Kong letters. I'm starting to think Mario properties and jazz are just a match made in heaven in general. Absolutely, yeah. It's definitely one of the best things to come out of, like, the Wii U era, where, like, a lot of Mario kind of became about jazz and rock, which I think is a really nice mix. It also helps that those are, like, my 2 favorite genres of music, so that might also be why. Like, it's jazz for, like, the Mario themes and Peach, and then you get more hot, heavy metal rock with Bowser and whatnot. Love it. It's definitely a musical aesthetic I think is really fun. Wait for the key. Okay. And punch, 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 punch. A lot of bananas. Damn, we're just flying through tonight. really is a redemption arc from that time we tried to stream this game last year. I mean, it also helps we have Dixie Kong, who is kind of busted. Shake the Wiimote, oh wait, we don't have that anymore. Yeah, we live in an age now where we can have buttons for our controls. It's so crazy. Crazy that we live in that era now. I mean, I never hated the Wii version's controls, but they were definitely something that took a lot of getting used to. I remember that was one thing I really liked about the 3DS version, was just like everything's a button now, so you don't have to flail like wild just to get a roll in. When was the last time you used a remote? I had to use one a couple days ago to test out some Wii games I bought from CEX. Away with you, bot. Leave. Yeah, the last time I used a Wiimote was when I was testing out my copy, the Legend of Spyro games that I picked up from CEX. And Eternal Night ended up not working, which I was really annoyed about, because that was the one I was interested in playing the most. Yeah. But hey, I've got Dawn of the Dragon now at the very least, so I can play that at some point. I don't know. I don't think that'll be a stream game, or if it is, I'll probably like. I'd want to play Eternal Night and A New Beginning first, and that also requires finding a copy of Eternal and a copy of A New Beginning, because for some reason the GameCube version is weirdly rare. Last time for me was when I last played Nintendo. Oh, I miss Nintendo Land so much. It's kind of crazy that you know what I kind of realized about GameShare because of like things they've been showing from how they just added it to Kirby Air Riders? They can kind of have that sort of asymmetric gameplay that the Wii U used to have, because the Wii U gamepad was just its own screen, and with GameShare now you can make it so everyone has their own screen. So in a way, if they were smart about it, they could use that as a way to sort of make either a new Nintendo Land or somehow bring Nintendo Land back. And we can finally get that port off, and we can finally get that game off the Wii U. It would certainly be interesting if they decided to do it. I don't know if they would, though. That's a pretty big if, exactly, yeah. We still gotta get Yoshi's Woolly World and frickin' Star Fox Zero off of that first and foremost. It's just something to think about. It was something I was just thinking about because I was watching Good Vibes Gaming video on Kirby Air Riders, frickin', and also apparently Air Riders GameShare lets you play a Switch 2 game with all of GameShare does that. They let you. It's basically streaming the game to your Switch and then you can use that as like a second controller almost. It's really cool, and I really wish they were better about advertising it. Hello, Kaito! Thank you for popping in. Yes, we were just talking about Air Riders because it came up in the conversation of talking about GameShare. Welcome back, DS Download Play. Exactly. I was actually testing it last night with some friends because we wanted to test the online version of it that you can use for GameShare. And aside from obviously some lag from a friend who was playing in another part of the world, it worked surprisingly well. Kind of reminds me how Smash 4 lets you use the 3DS as a control. Oh god, that was a thing, wasn't it? Man, that was cool. Man. Yeah, I'm glad you jumped in, Kai. I hope everyone is having a lovely, lovely evening this fine day. We gotta play Air Riders again. Hopefully, stream next week, hopefully. I wanna say. That was something I definitely need to put on my to-stream list for next week. One sec. Begone. Begone software notification. Yeah, I definitely have to stream Air Riders at some point. Especially since it's the only kart racer I haven't streamed yet. I was thinking hopefully if my weekend is free I might slip in a special stream for that, but it depends entirely on whether or not... my weekend is still free. Plus also like just how I'm feeling, because I want to lock in and make some... work on some more animation, because I've been starting another one recently that I'm very excited to work on. But yeah, okay. And we're into our first of the tried and true Donkey Kong minecart levels, where you bonk on moles' heads. And go bonk. Go bonk. Okay. Yeah, Air Riders is definitely, if not this weekend, I will stream it next week. That is definitely going to happen. I could have sworn I got hit by that guy, by the way. It's a very satisfying bonk sound. It's so good. The sound effects in this game are so satisfying. Especially when you get like a huge chain of bonks. Some very nice sound direction overall. I don't think it quite beats the original ones, but that's also because the original versions have the Kremling, oh! Which is like one of my favorite enemy noises of all time. Hence why it's my follow notification. Because I just love it so much. I love the way it sounds. Oh. Also gave us some very nice ways of mixing 3D perspective while still being a 2D platform. You just wait until Tropical Freeze. Tropical Freeze is thriving with that kind of stuff, and I can't wait to play it at some point. Tropical Freeze is really good with that kind of stuff. Oh, kind of reminds me of a lot of the stuff that 3D Sonic is. Yeah. That's like how they sort of segue between 3D and 2D sections, yeah. .5D games, my beloved. Yeah. They're fun. I'll always prefer like a good sprite-based 2D platform because I think there's a lot people do with the art style and art direction in those games, but I love a lot of 2.5D platformers, and they certainly know what they're doing with those. Oops, Mr. G. Shout out to 3DS Kirby. Exactly, yeah. Ever considered more multiplayer streams? That is definitely something I need to do more of in the future, because especially when I've got a bit more time to devote to streams, I definitely need to start doing more multiplayer stuff with chat. More multiple streams. Like Air Riders is one. I gotta do more Mario Kart World. I would like to try Smash, but I'm also terrible at Smash and basically any fighting game ever, so that one would certainly be interesting to try and do. A full collab Mario Party stream would be great, yeah. I'd love to do a Mario Party collab with some streamer friends if I could ever get Mal or Blixie to get in on that. That would be so fun. Alright, Dixie, let's see how you fare in boss fights. It'll certainly be interesting. Spin.
Man, I don't see bananas, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like it is in Tropical Freeze. The barrel like rotates between all the Kongs that you can possibly have. Yeah. I can't wait for in 16 years where they finally get Cranky in it as well. That would be fun, neat. That's like the only thing this game is missing now. That and the funky mode from Tropical Freeze on Switch. That I would love to see them at as well. Love it. And now he's gonna swear and get orange, as you do. What, you never swear and get orange? It's kind of casual what people do. Oh dang, Dixie can get double kicked. You can only play as DK at base in this game. Only if you're playing in single player. If you're playing in co-op, a second player can play as Diddy or Dixie. A second player can play as Diddy or Dixie in the... Oh dang, she really knocks them out. I get the impression... In terms of like a base single player character, yeah, funky mode is the only exception, but in local multiplayer, a second player can play as Diddy or Dixie on a standalone. And it's really cool they add that. Sorry, I was trying to get that point across and also finish a boss fight. I apologize for the messy sentencing. On punch, 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 bye. Adios. Love to see it. We punched him a good amount of times. If I remember correctly, DK2 lets you use either Diddy or Dixie as the base character. So in like the classic Donkey Kong Country games, you basically like your second Kong is basically your second hit. It's like your mushroom power or Aku Aku or something. But you can switch between them by pressing the select button at any time. And and some of them have like their own unique abilities. Like in DKC1, DK hits harder, but Diddy is more maneuverable and faster. And in DKC2, Dixie can glide by holding that like the sprint button. And then Kiddy Kong in DKC3 is just like just Donkey Kong again. Yeah, like this game, but it's 1 heart instead of 3. Yeah. Yeah, it's not something you really think about because it's the switching mechanic in DKC2 unless you actively like prefer the playstyle of another character. When I play DKC2, I usually stick with Dixie because I'm bad at that game and need her glide so bad. Yeah, we're in the second world now. We're in the beach. This is one of my favorite areas aesthetically. But granted, I say that about basically any beach level in video games. I like beach levels. There's just something about them that hits. Oh, yeah, you gotta do that first. And then you can hit him in the head. And that. And then you roll. And for that, we get a puzzle piece. So worth it. Nice. I love that stage with the silhouettes in this. Yeah, I love those stages a lot. Well, there's enough. I think the next one of those is in the frickin' factory world, so that's a ways away, unfortunately. Because we had the first one of those earlier. Grab banana. Oh, Dixie makes everything in this game so easy. It's almost like this game wasn't initially designed with her in mind or something. That's crazy. It's like they added it just because in case easy mode wasn't easy enough for a lot of players. Which, I mean, fair enough. DK is fairly harder than your average like Mario or Sonic. So I can understand why they'd want to add like more easy ways to play, especially for the smaller youngins. I don't know, I'm just glad we're putting her in more stuff. Now put her in the spin-offs before I have to make the calls again. You want to play this game? I recommend it. I would definitely say now the Switch version is the best version of the game to get. Purely because it has the graphics of, well, enhanced graphics of the the Wii version and the frame rate. I mean, it's a Switch 1 game in total. And Switch 1 you get all the Dixie Kong stuff and whatnot. That's not exclusive to Switch 2, thankfully, which is something I'm glad a fair few of Nintendo's games have been doing in this early Switch 2 era. Like a lot of time with the Switch 2, with these updates, the Switch 2 will get like improved performance and load times, but all the actual content is still available on Switch 1, thankfully. It's very consumer friendly in a world in which not a lot of game companies are consumer friendly. Am I being way too affected by people complaining about optimization? Absolutely. I mean, on base Switch, this game is perfectly fine. It still is perfectly playable. Switch 2 just adds like some slightly prettier visuals to a... So if you really want to play the prettiest version of a 16-year-old game, then that's hard to say. I think the best version of this is the Switch one, but I also understand it's the most expensive. Yeah, I think it's just a lot of times people get way too uppity about you have to play it in 60 FPS, otherwise you're fake and such. People complain way too much about that kind of stuff, and I'm just like, just enjoy the games however you want to enjoy them, man. I sat through Frontiers 2 times over on Switch. I still love that game. I didn't care that it wasn't the prettiest or the smoothest, it was just a fun experience. That should always matter the most to me. And I get with some folks that, like, frame rate can be sort of, for some folks, frame rate is very beneficial to the playing experience, especially if it's in some games cases where it's like, incredibly choppy and unplayable in some cases, but like a lot of the times it's not. It's perfectly playable. I don't care if the frame rate is 60. I care if the frame rate is stable. Exactly. It's only ever really a problem if it's like a choppy frame rate, like it's a game trying to push 60 on a less than powerful console and it's just really choppy and unable to do it. That's the only times in which I think frame rate is a problem. Other than that, basically, I'm fine with anything. Look, man, I remember the N64 days. I remember having to play games in like 12 or 24 FPS because of the PAL, of having PAL versions in which our plugs weren't powerful enough for the more powerful systems. Yeah, do you know what other... Yeah, a lot of games that people love are still like 30 FPS, like the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane trilogy. I don't know what I was playing with it, but I was thinking a higher frame would look weird too. So that's what I'm like with people who are always like, oh, we have to play everything in 120. So I think it looks too... It makes everything look weirdly soupy. That's just my 2 cents on it. I think playing anything in 120 looks just like soupy. Like nothing has a hit to it. It's just like everything feels like it's moving at the same pace. And I don't know if that's just a me thing, or maybe I just haven't played the right 120 FPS game. The only one I can think of that actually played is Hades 2, which is 120 FPS on Switch 2 in handheld mode. And then other times I just don't notice the difference at all, like with Mario Kart World. I don't notice it there. I don't know, man. I'm happy if a game has a stable frame rate more than if it has a really nice buttery frame rate. Like more frames of animation does not make an animation better or worse. It just makes it look soupy in a lot of cases. It's like you get those folks who are like who would be on Twitter who would be like, I interpolated this scene of a thing animated in 24 frames per second into something that moves at 60 FPS, and everything is just like weirdly soupy and nothing looks right. It's just weird. People are weird, man. People get uppity about the stupidest things, and I'm just here wanting to have fun playing video games. Yeah, I mean, the human eye perceives 20. I don't know the legitimacy of that, but that's why I think a lot of animation is just like that, because it's kind of everything is done on like 2 frames and such, 2 or 3 frames, which is about the usual. You're getting 3 frames every couple seconds and whatnot. There's like only a few frames drawn for a certain amount of animation and whatnot. Like, you can add those extra frames in, but it makes it so the overall animation does not have any punch to it, because everything is just like you're seeing every individual bit of the motion rather than selectively choosing what is drawn in order to add more punch to it. Metro Prime 4 was the first time I actually been able to notice the difference with 100. Oh yeah, Prime 4 I noticed it. Prime 4 I thought it was... Prime 4 I didn't mind it, but it was also like... It's fine. I think that's in like the few times I actually played that game in handheld, because I don't think a lot of TVs are even able to output at 120, or at least not what I've noticed. I don't know, maybe I'm just I might just be completely wrong on that subject entirely, so I don't wanna fret on it longer than I have to. I don't know, man. My golden rule of thumb is like, is it a stable frame rate? Yes, then that's perfectly fine. Or like, are the frame dips so noticeably bad that it makes it impossible to progress in the video game? Because there have been cases where like I've played games that aren't on stable frame rates. Specifically, like when I'm playing Switch versions of third-party titles that are like multi-platform. Because I remember having that a lot with there's an example of it recently that I'm trying to remember, but it's not coming to me. I mean, I already gave example of Sonic Frontiers, but there's also... Oh yeah, the SpongeBob games that they have, like, the recent SpongeBob games, I would say, like the Purple Lamp SpongeBob games. I would say that's an example of, like, having very buttery frame rates. Well, not very buttery, like stuttery frame rates is what I meant to say. And then you had frickin' Epic Mickey Remastered, which was like, that game had a very unplayable frame rate on Switch 1. I think the most ideal frame drops when I'm trying to play a Sonic game on PC. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll happen. Peaceful Pair. Oh boy. This is where everything's gonna all start going to pot. It's my favorite sections. I say with no irony whatsoever. And that's why. Yep. Games are better when they're just like optimized specifically for the lowest for the lowest thing they can be played on. Because not everyone has a freaking supercomputer that a lot of AAA games require people to play their games on. So, Anna, people are weird. They focus on the stupidest freaking things. And that's all I will say on the matter further, because we're in a rocket barrel now, and we're basically playing Flappy Bird. Just have to, like, press the jump button to, like, level out yourself so you're not overflying. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell a difference between 30 and 60 in a lot of cases. Because that's like a noticeable change. It's just like I don't notice 60 to 120 at all most of the time. I can definitely tell the difference between if I play a game at 30 and then go. I can definitely notice it there because I've had a lot of instances where I play the game on Switch and then like reboot it later on Xbox because I want to get achievements. And it's definitely noticeable there in regards to it. So yeah. Oh, whoops! Forgot to hold that button. And no one's thought about games frame rate. I don't care too much about it either. Yeah. Let's try to actually remember to press the jump button this time while we're flying. We're making pretty good progress, I must say. We're doing a lot better than when I first tried to stream this game. That's not saying much though. The last time I tried to stream this was a freaking train wreck. A lot of being very nervous and unsure what I'm doing. Also, I was playing the game mostly blind, so that certainly wasn't helping at all. Now that I've had a playthrough, so I know what's coming and I can sort of... I know how to balance talking while also being present and locking in with the video game. LOL. Anyway, I love the... Yeah, they actually look so much nicer after this update now. There's a lot of those kinds of tweaks to the graphics that have also been made with this update, so... It's nice to see this game actually looking as good as it could have done, finally. Lots of bananas. And we take a victory sip of water. The way I see it, it's like 30 to 60, like the jump between graphics on the N64 to GameCube in terms of there's the visual difference, but 60 to 120 is more like the PS4 to PS5 jump where it's like way less noticeable. Yeah, wait, this update is for both Switch 1 and Switch 2. You can play with Dixie Kong and the fixed visual things that were a problem in the original HD release on Switch 1. Switch 2 just has slightly more enhanced visuals and much nicer load times as well, which is good for this game's like time attack mode that it has in it as well. Oh yeah, Switch 1 also has the new turbo attack mode they've added as well, which I've not really messed about with because it's kind of just it's like playing the game on an emulator with like 2 times speed. It's certainly an experience that I'm not really messed about with a whole lot. Oh, you know, I bet Dixie makes this getting way easier to get. She does. It is really good that Nintendo is still supporting like Switch 1 games, even as they get all these updates for Switch 2. And not even just with like Switch 2 editions and just these games having like additional updates to them that provide further content and such. People give Nintendo a lot of shit for being consumer unfriendly, but it's also like, I don't know, they're the only ones that are still actively supporting their previous generation console at the moment. Well, I mean, Sony has to because there's no fucking games for the PS5. Heyo, am I right? Topical humor. Well, I'm not getting those. Yeah, despite the fact that the other one was so small. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I have a Series S, so I can't say like they're the only one, but that's only because I only had a 360 briefly and never had an Xbox One growing up, so I'm just playing a lot of my Xbox backlog through that. So that's less about the games specifically for the Series S and more just like nearly 20 years of Xbox backlog I had to get through because of not really being an Xbox kid. Through. Nailed it. Nice. I'd love to see it. I missed all the puzzle pieces, it don't matter. I'm still not used to how quick those load times are. That's crazy to me. Next up is Stormy Shore. Oh, I think this is one of the levels I really like about this. I like from this section of the game. It's one of them anyway. It's either this or it's the. Oh no, it's the next one I'm thinking of. It's the one with you're like platforming through tidal waves. This one's cool though. It's the squid chase. How to play more Prime 4. I am tempted to do a replay of Prime 4 at some point, but I think I want to do it after I've like finally played through Prime 2 and Prime 3, which hopefully isn't too far away from now because there was like an accidental leak recently that suggests Prime 2 might be coming to the NSO, which will be a freaking godsend to me. Yeah, I definitely want to replay Prime 4, because I was very much in the camp of I'm very positive about it and understand the complaints, and I want to see if like a lot of my hype for the game was just like, yay, Metroid, yum, finally. Because I like the game a lot, but it's also like there was just so much negativity around the game that it was hard to like really enjoy it in person. Because it just seemed like a lot of folks were making it think like you were wrong for liking the game. And Mira has no opinions whatsoever, that's fine. Yeah, someone who loves the Prime trilogy, Prime 4 was rough. Yeah, I wonder how my opinion would change if I had played like Prime 2 and Prime 3. Because the only one I've actually played until now is Prime and Prime Remastered, so it's definitely a case of I feel my opinion would change if I played the older games, so I want to save a replay for when I've done those. only played the first hour or so, Prime Force so far. I wanted to wait until I finished Trails in the Sky so I'm not juggling two games. Yeah. I need to get better at juggling games, because I was playing Trails in the Sky, then I added Path of Radiance to my playlist, and then I added Final Fantasy VII Remake to my playlist. It was like, can I pick one and stick to it, please? I'm probably going to stick to Trails first and foremost, because that's the one I'm actually playing for the first time. Well, I'm also doing that with Path of Radiance. So Path of Radiance will be next after that. And then I'll probably do 7 Remake after that. I'm basically just been playing Deltarune right now. That is also something I need to do. I feel like Prime 4 spent too long in the oven and came out burnt. That's the consensus I feel a lot of folks had with it, and I'd probably agree. Yeah, I remember hearing a lot of how the development was all about chasing trends that came with Breath of the Wild. So yeah, I can definitely understand like a lot of the criticisms behind it, for the most part. But I, myself, when I was playing it, had a really good time, and it's something I should really have a... Maybe it's something I dedicate a Yapadoodle episode to. You're a fair ways into Trails last time you told me where you were at it. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, it was like constant chasing a lot of trends from like Breath of the Wild. Just wanting to be a more open world Metroid game. Ooh, that's something to look forward to with Trails. You said I'm a fair ways in. I think the thing I'm just up to now is like there's a school festival about to start within it. That's where I'm at in the game now, and we're with, I think it's Chloe. She's the most recent party member I've got, so yeah. I'm just doing the side quests. I don't want to start that section of the game just yet. Chloe's cool. I love the cast that you have in... I love all of the cast we've had so far in Trails of the Sky. I love it. My favorite is probably Olivia, because I am very much a fan of that kind of, like, very well-spoken, absolute imbecile kind of character. I'm reaching the halfway point. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Yeah. It's a game I'm very much enjoying. It has the very nice mix of, like, the real-time battling and the turn-based battling. Even if I am usually mostly using the turn-based, because the real-time is it's a bit too simplistic for my tastes. Something, mountains out of molehills, yeah. Or something. That's probably a conversation I'm missing in the chat. You're gonna be eating in the lane game some of Olivia's... Oh, yay. Very excited. Oopsie, bye Dixie. I should have been paying attention to the video game I'm currently playing. I love just the random bowling seagulls that are apparently wildlife within the Donkey Kong universe. Alright, we got Dixie back now. I will say with Dixie, she does make it slightly harder to sort of time... Because with this game, you have to, like, time your button press. You have to, like, time pressing the button when you jump on an enemy to, like, get an extra boost. So Dixie Kong adding that slight bit of hover makes it very hard to sort of time that jump to do that. That is one thing I will say that is adding a little bit of challenge to this version in particular. Also, I'm loving this this aquatic ambience remix in the background. There's a aquatic ambience remix in Tropical Freeze that is like probably my favorite version of that song as well. Oh, no! Ah, dang it. Ah, dang it. It's always sad when you miss like one letter. Donkey Kong. That's what happens when Donkey Kong gets really into NFTs. It's a Donkey Kong. Alright, final level of World 2. Tropical Freeze's soundtrack is like 30% aquatic ambience. You're right. You're right. You're not wrong there. Oh, this is the level I was talking about. I love this level. The music as well is really, really Metroid Prime-y. Which is fitting because this game was originally made by Retro Studios. This level is so cool. Kind of fitting we had like a big discussion on Prime 4 in this, considering these two games are made by the same developer. They share a composer, if I remember correctly. Ooh! Yeah, because this is like the one Donkey Kong game where it's not David Wise making the soundtrack, so that wouldn't surprise me. Because all the other country games, it's David Wise. Actually, I think Country Free has a different composer, I think. And that game has a lot more of an atmospheric tone to it compared to the other games. Yeah, they bring David Wise back for Tropical Freeze, and it's like, oh, that's my favorite Donkey Kong soundtrack. Bonanza is a very close second, though. There's some tracks in Prime 3 that sound like this something from this game. Oh, interesting. It'd be interesting to hear those when I finally get to Prime 3. Oh, my banana! Yeah, I wasn't gonna make it. I don't know why I was keeping on going. I don't know why I kept on going. I knew I wasn't gonna make it. Mario Cliffside the levels in this game, for example. I will keep an ear out when I play Prime 3 eventually. It will definitely happen sometime after I play... Okay, no, move! Why you... Will definitely happen sometime after I play Prime 2 if they are going to add it to the NSO. That'll be a fun game to... I don't know if it's a stream game, because I like... Especially for Metroid, I like having my first playthrough... I like having my first playthrough to myself, because I am terrible at those games and would probably need a guide of some kind. Oh, the bloody... The crab knocked me into the frickin'... Knocked me into being hit. We're making such good progress. Don't start fucking up now. Oh yeah, you want to talk about games I need guides for. Zelda is like the prime example of that. Prime, because we're talking about Metroid. Funny. Oh, that's bad. I might need Dixie for this. Okay, that apparently didn't hit me. I'll take it. There we go. A series I've historically been so terrible I need a walker on the side at all times. So true. I need that as well. And now I'm just thinking about Ocarina of Time. That's speaking of games that I need to get back to streaming, that's definitely on the cards for soon. That might end up being the next, like, sort of series after we're done with this, because I definitely need to get back into Ocarina of Time. It was pretty cool from what I played of it, so definitely need to do a bit of cleanup on the side of it, like go back and get some of the heart pieces I've missed. Because we were entering the areas in which I was drastically unknowing of, so I would definitely need to look up some guides before I did anything in regards to playing that game again. I'm never going to finish Twilight. Same on Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is like my backlogged white whale at this point. Twilight Princess and Pokemon Colosseum. I like my backlogged white whale. Now we're fighting pirate crabs. Twilight Princess Renaissance. I could see it being likely now that we've got GameCube. That would be cool to see. Like, I know some folks would probably prefer, like, the HD version. But I think just at the very least having those games on NSO as a way to play them would be really nice for some people, including myself. There we go. Yeah, Wind Waker we already have on there, so it's not too far-fetched to say it's possible. That's round 2 of these crabby boys. Up and boop. Yeah, the Wii U's got to have a reason to stick around, I guess. We can't really rely on Yoshi's Woolly World and Star Fox Zero forever, unfortunately. Up and boom! And that's it done, I think. Nice! Anyway, second boss down. We are already making far more progress than when we were originally playing this game, so I cannot complain at this. And bada boom! The reason they make the companion characters is because they needed a targeting system to make the 3D adventure game more mechanical, and they needed to explain it in game, so they created Navi as a way to personify the target method. I like that as a reason behind why they created it. That's such a fun idea, like to give the gameplay mechanic a character behind it. And then they kept the Navi character where we're like, what if they were plot relevant and they all had character development? It's a cool way to like incorporate that kind of stuff. It's like Lakitu and Mario. Exactly, yeah. Like that is always one of my favorite lore reasons behind the camera in Mario 64. Is this Lakitu filming everything, which makes it all the more fitting of why the camera in that game is so terrible sometimes. It's because there's Lakitu, who is a Bowser, who is a minion of Bowser, controlling the camera at all times. It's a perfect explanation. And now we fight chickens. Chickens on stilts. Oh, juicy combo. Yeah, the last time that was really a thing was frickin' Skyward Sword, I think, was the last time until Tri that we had like that sort of character. I mean, he's holding the camera on a fishing rod. It ain't exactly gonna be a good shot. You know, fair enough. Fair enough. That's just for a puzzle piece, I'm pretty sure. Oh. And now we are in the ruins area. We never got to this when I was originally streaming it, because we spent like half of that stream trying to chase after the K-letters. So it's nice to just not worry about them and just continue on the merry way. Ah, chickens! Or are they turkeys? I'm not entirely sure. I think this is also the level that has a little Easter egg for those watching. I think it's coming up. God, Dixie, you just like break this game entirely. I love it. And up and away. actually. Hurry up, Diddy. Thank you. Poor Diddy. He had one game where he was like the only other character and was relevant, and now he's been replaced with Dixie Kong all over again. Poor guy. That can't be good for his freaking mental health. No wonder he's coming back for tennis. Oh look, there he is. Yeah, see, it's like classic arcade Donkey Kong, and they've changed the model so he's holding a Joy-Con now. It's so cute. Hop, hop. Oh! I got a balloon out of that. Nice. I'm assuming he used to hold the balloon. Yep. I don't know if they changed it in the 3DS version to like he's holding a 3DS or a Wii U gamepad or something. That would have been cool. Yeah, the Jungle Temple visuals in this are really, really cool. I'll have to look that up later. Definitely gives me vibes of World 4 and Triple Deluxe. I need to replay Triple Deluxe at some point. I really hope that... There was a rumor going around for ages that, like, we were getting a port of Planet Robobot, and I kind of hope that one day they'll do a port for both it and Triple Deluxe so we can get the 3DS Kirby games in HD. That would be so cool. That's like my dream Nintendo Direct announcement at this point. Well, my dream feasible Nintendo Direct announcement, because we all know what the dream one is. It's frickin' Kid Icarus. Shit. Take two. Please, please. Please, Sakurai, please do not have been forced into the Smash mines just yet. I need my son. Heck, I'd take... You know what I would also take? I would take a Myths and Monsters remake made by the Link's Awakening team. The guys who made like Link's Awakening and Echoes of Wisdom. I think that would be fun. I just need Pit. And I want like a little chibi Pit in that same kind of art style. I think that would be fun. Especially since we just got frickin' Myths and Monsters on the NSO as well. I think there's room for that. Or at least like another try at like a 2D Kid Icarus. Like if you're not going to give me another Uprising, at least you can do is just like a 2D Metroidvania style Kid Icarus game where like you're working to get like all the different upgrades and such. That would be fun. Oh, bye Dixie. Murdered by hummingbirds. It's how she wanted to go. This part's cool. Like Kid Icarus spin-off in general, I'd be down for. Just give, yeah, just like, yeah. Give me Link's crossbow training but with Pit instead of Link. I don't really know what kind of genres you could really do with a Kid Icarus spin-off aside from just like railgun shooter. As long as we get more bounty, I'm down for it. There's potential for railgun shooter. You could do a fricking... You could do like a freaking tower defense game where you play as like Palutena and you're sending off Centurions and Pit to like sort of to different sections of Skyward to sort of defeat the underworld. So you could make Kid Icarus Dispatch. You could make that. Just give me Kid Icarus Dispatch. Shit. And I mean, people are already complaining about the Dispatch release on Switch too because they censored stuff. Which I mean, okay, buddy, that's fine. I mean, it was a thing in the original release, but suddenly it's okay to complain about it when it's Nintendo doing it. Like, okay, dude. Sorry. Weird tangent, because that just really annoyed me earlier today. That's why Dispatch has just been on the mind, because it's another game I really want to play at some point. Definitely not a stream game, though. That's a game I want to experience for myself. I barely know what Dispatch is. It's similar to like the old Telltale games, like The Walking Dead and such, where it's like mostly It's like mostly a story, but there's some like gameplay sections within it. From the little I know of it, at least. It's like a sort of a superhero... It's just like a sort of superhero story. Where you like work for like a superhero dispatch unit and such. And it's all about like making decisions that then greatly affect the ongoing story and whatnot. It looks really fun. Definitely something I want to try in my spare time at some point. There we go. So cool. Oh wait, this section, I remember this section. This part's really cool. I love that they at least give you like safety nets of a couple of barrels in order in case you miss the shot. Like that. Okay, we got one more safety after this. We got no more safety after this. Hey, got it in one. Nice. There we go. Victory sip of water. There we go. Lovely. Refreshing. Alright. Now we'll visit Cranky's shop and get the next key. If you want the help free from the island from these stinker tickets, you'll need my help. Get in here. I don't know, Cranky. I kind of prefer if you were playable. Would have been nice. I get Dixie Kong was a lot, but I think you would probably... I get Dixie Kong breaks the game, but I think your freaking Pogo would be just as broken, if not more so, in a lot of ways. Would have been cool to see, though. It certainly would have gone, like, crazy with the speedrunning community for this game, because I think Cranky is, like, the big character for speedrunning when you're playing Tropical Freeze, unless you're doing Funky Kong. You know, the one game where Cranky was playing was also the one game he doesn't speak. You've got it there. It's very true, actually. I don't know who had it first, probably DK, but I always associate the barrel segments with Kirby. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror specifically. It's definitely DK. DK's been doing that, like, pretty much since DKC1 on the SNES. But yeah, I see what you mean. There are a lot of, like, those similar kinds of canon sections in a lot of modern Kirby games. Yeah, but it's definitely first and foremost a Donkey Kong thing. Oh hey, we don't need to wait to jump on an enemy's head anymore to just do that. I forget when Kirby introduced the cans. I think it was like Amazing Mirror or like GBA era. I don't remember if they were in Venture or not. I know they're in... The first one I remember them in is Return to Dreamland. Oh yeah, they might have been Superstar, yeah. There were some in Superstar as well. Oh. Hello? That's so cool. They're sending the cavalry out after us. Oh. Nice. Yeah, I think it might be Superstar or Superstar that introduced the cannons to Kirby for the first time. Or at least that's when they were the most prevalent in Kirby. I only really remember the sections from Return to Dreamland Adventure Wii. And that's when they were the most like... They were the most like levels actually That's when there were levels actually like built around the sort of those mechanics. Oh hey, the G, nice. Yeah, it's mostly the 3DS games and Adventure Wii where I think of the cannons. Oh, oh, crap! Cannonball! That letter was so much easier with Dixie. You could say that with basically all of this game. It's almost like a 16-year-old game wasn't designed for a character they added in a 16-year later remake. Or re-release. Crazy, I know. I don't remember how you get it. I guess you have to like jump on a crab and then bounce over to it. Anyway, celebratory sip of water. I'm not looking forward to the bosses. I remember the boss in this area being like the worst part of it. One of my least favorite bosses in the game. So I'm hoping Dixie makes it a lot easier. That would be nice. Hydrate or dihydrate, you're so right. Don't have any water on hand right now. You go get water. Go take a break. Go get water. You need it, baby. Stay hydrated, bestie. Follow your own advice or hydrate or dihydrate. Oh, no, still got hit by it, dang. Nice. Okay. Oh. Heart, thank you. I love the screamy platforms. They're so fun. Oh, we're just getting a smorgasbord of coins now. We basically got all the coins we need for like the rest of the game, I think. Wait. That looks climbable. Aha! Boners. Oh boy, another thing that's completely broken by Dixie. My favorite. Shoot. I say as I nearly immediately eat shit. Nice. Yeah, we had to hear that jingle at least once this stream. Go. Oh, I like this section's cool. Like you can see like the water like coming in from the ceiling and sort of it's what's pushing the blocks. It's so cool. Of course, platforming was made a lot easier when you are a flying helicopter monkey. Huzzah! There's the G. Dodge the chicken. Step on it for good measure. He's fine. He was into it. Step there, but that's fine. As long as there's a heart, we're always good. Nice. Free bananas. Victory sip of water. Nicey, nicey. Dang, we are just like plowing through this game. We're doing a lot better than I thought I was going to do for this. Oh no. Oh god, I remember this level. This one's a pain. At this rate, I think we'll probably get through the cave and then we'll probably end there. See how well the cave goes for us. Stuff here. This is probably for a puzzle piece. Yep, it's a bonus room. Get bananas now. One more to go. Nice. And claim the reward. You love to see it, you do. Yeah, hopefully everyone's been having a nice, pleasant Thursday day, or Thursday evening, whatever your respective time zone is. It's just nice to have these little streams to just get over and chill out with everyone. And we have these little guys for this level. This is this level's gimmick. You got little guys who pop up and want to eat your face. Man, this remix of the Ruins theme from DKC 1 is so good. This game has a lot of really good remixes from DKC 1. Okay, I'm back. Nice to see you back, Kaito. I assuming you went to go take care of stuff. Yeah, this game this level just throws a bunch of these little fuckers at you, and they're really annoying to deal with. Oh, sweet. Shit. And they also throw these bigger red ones. And also the ones in cages. Shut up. You can also use them to spring off of and get to higher areas. Shit. Okay, ridiculous about this. This is fine, just gotta take our timesies. Alright, how do I... Hey! Nice. Up. And off we go. Nice. This level is cool. I just been really hating this level in the Wii version because these little things are a pain in the bum. Especially these ones. I love these ones. You gotta like wait for them to be perfectly. You gotta wait for them to scream and then you can bounce on their heads. They always reach just a little bit further than you think they do, so you just gotta be a little careful with those. Oh, too soon. Adios. They're so goofy, I love them. They're so funny. It's just like as a kid when you're not really experienced with these kinds of games that are a pain in the butt. Now I can think they're cute, but as a kid I fucking hated them. Wait for Dixie. Oh yeah. Lots of coins at least, that's always nice. And a heart. I love the noises they make. They go. What keeps trapping monkeys in barrels? The crocodiles. They're off screen. Putting all the monkeys in barrels. This is fine. Oh, they give you a refill here. That's nice. And just group you all up. Or that could go terribly. I love the big ones as well. They go. Oh, bye, I guess, dude. Rude. I love the mental image of a crocodile squad just hiding on screen. Yeah, it's the frickin' camera crew. And that's camera spelled with a K. Because it's the... There's a joke in there somewhere. Yeah, in the time when he wasn't like the main villain in these games, K. Rool was actually like the film crew behind them all. So now I'm just imagining like that one scene of it's that one like viral thing of Christian Bale, but it's K. Rool's like, "I want you off the fucking set, you prick." Here's adjusting the lights there in the middle of the scene. Ah, da 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 da, like this in the background. Now I actually want to see director K. Rool. I just imagine him like one of those like a beret and that like old style megaphone director with a K. Yeah, I guess it would be. Yeah. If the Kremlins keep following DK with a camera, they might finally find their boss. Exactly. Lots of bananas there. I think this is another Rambi level, so we'll get Rambi in a sec. I love this additional lore we're just creating. Like this is what the Kremlin crew does on their off duty when they're not while K. Rool is stuck in like the Bonandium core in Bonanza. They just become like a film crew. And start filming Donkey Kong's adventures to help. They say it's for like research purposes, but you know damn well they're using it to like basically spy and make sure K. Rool is familiar with what those banana munching monkeys are doing, as he would say in the cartoon. God, I haven't watched the cartoon in so long. You good, Rambi? Come on, then. I remember this being like one of my favorite Rambi levels. Look, with platformers, there's not a whole lot of story and lore, so you gotta make the story and lore where you can. Oh. There we go. This is a Diddy free zone. He gets his time when Diddy gets his time when Mario Tennis comes out. Until now, it's all about the Dixie. Or that could happen too, I guess. The Ring of Fire. Oh, we missed the K as well. Oopsie daisy. That's fine. Oh. Ah, dang it, we got Diddy. Oh. Nah, it's not worth killing myself to get Dixie. Diddy can have a little screen time as a treat. This is how you used to have to play the game. Okay, bye Rambi. See you later, buddy. Oh. I guess not. Okay then. Oh, I kinda need Rambi. Rambi, come back, buddy. Where'd he go? Rambi? Devs, I think we may have found a little oversight here. Uh-oh. Maybe if I now go back to it, it will spawn back in, or do I actually have to kill myself? The game saw me get Diddy. Oh, no, there it is, okay. I was about to say, the game saw me get Diddy finally. I was like, oh, fuck, man. I thought you were here for the new stuff. And then the game just immediately breaks. Oh, bye, Rambi. Oh, we need that. Well, that was certainly an eventful turn. That was weird. It's like, I found a bug. Whoops. Found a pet. Yeah, Diddy is just like a normal glide in this game. Which you can probably see what is probably redundant when you have a character who also gives you a glide and a double jump. Look, I gotta pad the runtime of this stream out somehow. Needed a rhino and instead found a bug, SMH. Yeah. I mean, there was a bug in this version for like the longest time. It's like they broke how the co-op works for the longest time until this update. Because when you're playing co-op in this game, the enemy's hitbox sticks around for a little bit after you jump on it, so that the player 2 can then jump on it as well. But that was kind of busted in both this version and the 3DS version until they fixed it with this update, which was really, really nice to see now that I'm saying that out loud. Alright. But that's World 3 done with. Now on to the Ruined Roost. Alright. This is probably my least favorite boss in the game, I think. Alright, come on, Dixie, let's do this. You will hopefully make this boss a lot easier. Ooh. She just ditches DK in the cutscene. Oof. Anyway, we now fight the Grand Kazooie. Damn, the aftermath of Nuts and Bolts was hard on Kazooie, I guess. Anyway, yeah, you've just gotta huck her bombs back at her. Oh god, that actually feels way easier to do with the hover. Especially when, like... Oh, it gives you, like, just that little bit of extra height you need a lot of the time for the hucking of the bombs. Oh, this is way easier, yes! You love to see it. Nope, don't want to grab that, no. It kind of sounds similar to something. I think a lot of the boss themes all have very similar sounding songs. Oh, and then she just drops a nuke on us. He's gonna dodge that. Grab a bomb. Oh, why did I let go of the bomb? Boom. Dang, this is just like so easy. Going to an appointment, so I'm watching on my phone now. Okay. Hope your appointment goes well. Crazy. I missed. Missed my shot. Whoopsie daisy. Uh-oh, the nuke. Oh, that's not fair. You just chucked it straight at me. Hoya! Okay, one more hit after this, I think. Duck under. Okay, now we have to do it the old-fashioned way. Hoya! Bald! 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 Bye, Kazooie. See you again, never. We'll meet again for Punch. And that's World 3 done. Time for a sip of victory water. That's the good stuff. My eyes. Alright, alright. I can't believe we exposed Kazooie's special problem. Get this bird a paper bag, yeah. Oh boy, World 4. World 4 is basically all minecart and rocket barrel levels, so this is going to be very fun. For those who've been waiting to sit on a death counter, get ready to start counting, because this is gonna be something, alright. Alright, just gonna grab some thingamajigs. Get Dixie back. And we yearn for the mines, and onwards we go. The visuals of the mine areas are always something I really, really like. Just like how the mushrooms and everything look. It's so cool. Also, we have a slight difference in these minecart levels. Now we're riding on top of them rather than in them. And so we have a lot more of control to just like jump out of them and such, but we also have to be careful to not over jump and then not be able to land back on the minecart. These sections are always really cool. I like these ones. You always just gotta be careful of where you're landing. I thought I guess I had to jump over that one. These sections are cool. Oh, I guess you can't just use Dixie Kong. Hey, I guess you still can't use, like, Dixie Kong's flutter to cheese it, sadly. That would have been cool. I mean, you're out of the minecart. There's no reason she can't just, like, flutter us to safety. But I guess would kind of break the game. I mean, not that she already does that in spades. Up, 2, 3, and PB. Oh, I forgot the end, whoopsie. That's fine. If Tropical Freeze is 30% Aquatic Ambience, this game is 30% Minecart Madness. It really is, yeah. There's a lot of remixes of the minecart theme in this game. And it's also technically, it's also 30% Rocket Barrel by that logic as well. Which, to be fair, the Rocket Barrel theme is a banger in this game. That was easy enough. Punch. More coins. Lovely. Cog. We're not at the factory level just yet. We don't need cogs. Right. Grip and trip. And we're just like speeding through this. I wonder how much of this, like, our ability to play more of the game has kind of been added by the load times being cut down so much in this update. Because, like, there's already so much of this, our playing of this has been cut down because we're not going for the K levels, but there's also, like, Returns HD originally had, like, really long load times, so I wonder how much of our playtime has kind of been cut down because of that. Hey, you guys want more Minecart Madness? Well, you got it. Oh, what? Oh, whoops. Don't know what happened there. Oh, almost forgot to hold down the grab button. Whoops. Need to jump up a little sooner. For if I'm doing that way. We're just gonna go the safe route, I think. We already got the puzzle piece, so we don't need to do it again. Whoops. I had a feeling the caves is where the deaths would start to pile on. And I'm glad to see I was not wrong in that regard. This is definitely where, like, the game is just like, okay buddy, we're not fucking around now, it's time to actually... Time for y'all to know the name why Donkey Kong Country is hard. Shit. Which is weird, because then it sort of gets easier again when you get to the forest area after this. And then it jumps back up again when you get to the cliffs. Very strange difficulty spike in this game. Alright. Alright. Locking in. Yo. Yeah, difficulty curves are weird sometimes, yeah. Bounce on mushrooms. Ride the choo-choo train. The choo-choo train explode. But like the fourth world always seems like a logical place for a difficulty spike. Yeah, it does. It's just, it's weird when it then goes back to being a little bit easier for the next level. Shit. These guys must have a lot of expendable trains if they're being used for those, like, these really small, for them, railways. Like, railways for some of these trains are just like 10 seconds. I want to know who's funding these guys' mining operations, because they can't be using their funding very responsibly. So against the difficulty spike in stage 4 because it's 6 stages and all, pretty much the exact same logic with 3DS Kirby. Yeah, kinda. I must confess I've never really played Touhou, but yeah. I guess 4 out of 6 is usually a good sort of... Like, definitely around sort of like the halfway, 2/3 area is where the difficulty should really start to, like, clock in. I might just have to say fuck it to that getting that letter. Just so we can get a museum. I mean, as long as we keep getting lives, we're fine, so I'm okay with dying a couple times. I didn't even get the goddamn letter. I went for it again and didn't get it. I'm a fool. And that's the other one over there, goddammit. But we're done with that level now, at least. Dang it, missed it. Another coin, though, at least. Coal. That's what happens when we punch the guys that we've been punching. They get KO'd. Yeah, we can go to the shop now. I've been trying to figure out just what they mine in these mines, but I've got nothing. Honestly, fair. Well, we kind of need the keys, Cranky. Alright, so that's Mole Patrol, and so next is Bombs Away! Oh boy, another minecart. Who's ready? Y'all excited for more minecarts? Which means after that it's the 2 rocket barrel levels, which are going to be fun. Okay, this time we're in it, rather than on it. Well, we're certainly not on it, if that's the case. Oh god, this is the one, this is the frustrating one. It's cool though. Now you had these sections where you have to like duck to avoid crystals. And make sure to short hop rather than hold down the button all the way. This game definitely, this level definitely wants to remind you that, okay, you can short hop as well, don't be crazy now. And you got this guy hucking bombs. Down. Oh, nailed it. Oh, whoops! That was the one time you really didn't want to bounce off of him. Okay. For some reason I randomly thought about Minecraft. Minecarts, which are one of those things that kind of feels like it's mostly designed with creative mode in mind. Yeah, I don't really use the minecarts in Minecraft outside of creative mode, because there's not really a lot of opportunities for using them in a survival world unless you're like building easy ways to get between one place and another, but that doesn't come up nearly as much as you would think. I guess the beauty with at least these like minecart levels is that they're fairly short, so you don't have to deal with a lot of the sort of the challenges they offer. guess that's like one solace to them. And man, they're just so cinematic and cool in this game. There we go, more banana. Kung. And it was not. From what little I played to survive mode, I was literally just trying to survive and there was no time for doing anything fun. But it's very different. Yeah, I feel for Minecraft you definitely need to play it with friends. I definitely don't get the same amount of enjoyment of Minecraft in single player as I do with... It's definitely a game that you need to play with friends, I find. It needs a group. It needs, like, people to work together on stuff, because it almost feels like too much work for just one person at a time. Alright, now we're on to the rocket barrels of the cave, which is... oh boy, these are where things get crazy. First we got moles. And then we have the drill train. And they send moles in typical balloon fight fashion to attack us. Doesn't work out very well for them, as you can clearly see. I love that you can just balloon fight these guys, that's so cool. Oh. I will say, I think the caves are where, like, the sort of... this game's more cinematic aspects are at their finest. Because you get stuff like this, you get, like, the train launching off and then drilling into the caves themselves. There's a lot of really great cinematic set pieces in these levels. Whoa, almost forgot to hold down the button. Shit. Oh boy. Yeah, the level wasn't over yet. You're loving this world now. You're not gonna like the last level. The last level in this world is like the worst part of it, which is a shame because I think the rest of it is really fun despite being all minecart and rocket barrel levels. Like it would have been fun to like platform across the crystals and whatnot. But I mean, they got these gameplay mechanics for a reason. They gotta have some way to use them because they're fairly rare in the rest of the game. I think there's not really any... the only other minecart sections I think are in this... are in the cliffs and in the final world. It's a great world as a spectator. Yeah, it's really cool. That's why I used to see all those videos of like Donkey Kong Country, all minecart and rocket barrel sections, because they're very good for a spectator, but as you can imagine, they're very stressful for someone actually trying to play the game. It's got a bucket load of crystals too, which bonus for that. Ah yes, crystals, of course. And then you crash into someone and you go, don't! Oh boy, it's time for my least favorite level. I think this is oh no, this is my second least favorite. My least favorite level is in the next world, and you'll understand why when we get to it. But this right now, we're in Crowded Cavern. You'll understand the moment I get to it why my least favorite level is my least favorite level. But this rocket barrel section sucks. Look at all these bits. And they are our obstacle for this world, for this level. So you're just dodging bats. You don't think you ever cleared this one? Oh, blimey. Yeah, I definitely remember getting stuck here as a kid. Ooh. This was definitely the point where I sort of like, I stopped playing as a kid. Or it's definitely where I used up a lot of like that super guide that they have in this game. This is definitely the level that made me use it a lot and just like not want to play the game anymore. So we got the little bats. We got the little bats, we got the medium-sized bats that go up and down, and then we got that big bat who's chasing us through the whole level. but we'll get to him in a bit. Can we give a shout out to Checkpoint Pick? Oh, Professor Chops? Yeah. He's cool. I love that he also just has a name, and he's... In Bonanza, he's canonically fossilized. I don't know why he set up this many boos, but God bless him. Yeah, this is the part. We're coming out to the part of the section that sucks. But thankfully there's a checkpoint right before it, so this is like... This is like the worst this level gets, thankfully. If I can get this... Shit. Yeah. You have to like be really careful, because he's like following you while shooting those, so you have to be... You have to be really careful with your dodging. Otherwise you can get like sniped because you're trying to bob and weave through them all. Like that. Yep, this part sucks. And here's the thing, it's a simple attack pattern. It's just like, it's obviously, it just comes down to the controls of the rocket barrel, because they're slippery. Shit. It does not complement the rocket barrel's very slippery control scheme well at all. And also, yeah, there's also collectibles all over the bloody place as well. When you're trying to do like an old Kong letter run of this level and just get everything, timing it so you're in the correct position. Okay, did that even hit me? I don't think it did. Timing it so you're in the right position to get everything. It's just such a pain in the ass. But you know, it's not the worst part of the game. And the moment you see what the worst part of the game is, you'll understand why I think it's the worst part of the game. Not now, Professor Chops. I'm trying to figure out, do you think there's ever any fan art of Professor Chops? Like the little checkpoint flag pig? I think I know the one. Yeah, yeah. You'll definitely see it when we get to it. Whoa. Whoa! There we go. Okay, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. I'll take that happily. Nice. And the massive sonar. Thankfully the part is like really easy to avoid. Because it's usually right at the bottom of the screen for that one. Alrighty. Now the bat is stuck in an uncomfortably awkward landing. Yep. And now we move on to the fourth boss, the Mole Train. Yeah, another thing that I think Dixie is absolutely going to be helping us out through. Yeah, someone should help out with that. He needs a chiropractor stat. Not yet. There we go. I love how basic Dixie's animations are in the cutscenes, just so we can say, yep, she's in the game now. It's a banjo. See, this is a kid. You got your Banjo-Kazooie. Well, he freezes over in this game, so rip the bat, I guess, yeah. Yeah, last level was a Kazooie, and this level we get the banjo. Oh. See it, we're just chasing after a train. Train of moles. Yeah, even the minecart gets a boss battle, which I really like about it, this game. And then we're just jumping on moles' heads. And yet another example of something Dixie Kong absolutely trivializes. And then you gotta make sure you're on the right cart at the end of it, lest they all fall off. Oh, bomb. I'm just thinking about how I used to stream with that old controller. Man, this one level would have been a pain in the ass with that Pro Controller drift. And boy, am I glad I don't have to deal with that anymore. This one adds a little bit of difficulty by making it so it's dark, so you can't really see until you're on the platforms that they pop out of. Whoa! 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 Oh, that was crazy. Almost beefed it there. This fucking goofy ass left. Oh, he died. I got hit in the face. It was funny. They give you a lot of health too. Alright, this is the final part now. So you have been trivialized by the sheer power that is women in video games. Huzzah! Waya! I didn't know if the fight was going forward. It's just the usual, like, 3 phases and then you get to the final part. Fairly typical of these kinds of bosses. Oh dear. Is that why gamers are so scared of women? Yeah, so right. Yeah, they make video games easier. And more fun. And Hassan Chop. Never forget when Cranky said, "Back in my day, the token woman was a damsel in distress." And you know, that's probably why Cranky Kong isn't playable in this version of the game. Bro got left in the times, as he probably should have done. Alright, I think that makes for a good stopping point there, I think. Sidelined for misogyny, yeah. As he deserves. And, maybe one day he'll reconcile with his feelings on women and he can get into the spin-offs again. But yeah. Do I want to try for... I might go for a couple levels in the forest, actually. Yeah, we'll start off the forest, I think. We'll go a little bit longer, just up until it gets to... We'll do one level in the forest and I think we'll finish off for the night. Because this level... Speaking of pretty areas in this game, I think this is probably my favourite visually. And I've probably said that already for the Ks, but this one is really pretty. He's never playable in a Mario spin-off, is he? Now that I'm thinking about it, no, I don't think so. Maybe in Super Sluggers, but that's the only one I can think of, and even then, I wouldn't know anything about that game, because again, it never came out in the UK for some reason. Maybe the UK just hates baseball? Which, I mean, is probably the case. Or they would have had to rename it to like Super Mario Rounders or something just to get it in the UK. Oh, get it, grab it. Oh. That makes sense. He could use the cane as a bat. Yeah, exactly. It makes sense. But, like, I don't know if it's the case he's in there or not. I know the game had Dixie, Funky, and Tiny. Yeah, it's weird. Did it have Funky? I thought it was just Dixie, Tiny, and K. Rool. Extremely rare Tiny representation. Yeah, the only times Tiny is ever in the series after 64 is Barrel Blast on Wii and Sluggers. It's weird. They tried to set up like the Wii era of Donkey Kong games as like a sort of soft reboot, and it just didn't go anywhere. So they immediately went into making returns and just like soft reboot everything again, but this time without anything. Make it just Diddy and Dixie, DK and Diddy. Even gave K. Rool yet another outfit with the Egyptian vibes. Oh yeah, I remember that. That's a really cool design for K. Rool. I'm surprised they didn't give K. Rool like an original look in Bonanza, honestly. Considering all the freaking ties people were making to the Journey to the West, I was half expecting to go like full Demon Bull King and such, or full on Viking. The other idea I really liked was that because of the game's like themes and music, he was gonna have like a freaking like a Gene Simmons Kiss alternative, like rock and roll sort of thing. Oh dang it, that would have actually been really cool. Probably because it's been so long. Yeah, they wanted just to get K. Rool out of there so people could stop saying that Nintendo doesn't like the Rareware games anymore. Man, now I want to design it now. I want to design Rock and Roll now. That'll probably be for like the Donkey Konga 4 that will probably never happen. God, I forgot how fast that level goes by. But yeah. I want to say that's a fairly good stopping point for tonight. We've done a lot more progress than I had ever thought we would get to in this game, so I'd say we've done a fairly decent job here tonight. And it's been lovely as always hanging out with all of y'all and having a nice time as always. Let me see if there's anyone worth raiding tonight. I always like to raid someone at the end of a stream if I can. Who's streaming tonight? Let's have a look. Let's see. You know, I'll do the old Reliable and send you over the Reliable, because they're currently streaming Art of Purple Characters, and I mean, they're always, I think they might also be just ending now, so... No, I think they're ending stream soon, so... Let's see who else. Let me see. How about... Yeah, we'll send you to Hayden. Hayden is currently streaming some Quarantine Zone, so... It's a bit of a more of a mature thing, but if you are interested in giving Hayden some love, please feel free to stick by and show them some love. And as always, I will see you again for the next week's streaming, or potentially this weekend if I do a Kirby Air Riders one. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-zies!